Clofton P. Grudge back with you.
And I am What You Say, Jay. And we've got a very exciting game. This is the Slam Diego Wildfires and the Los Angeles Derby Dolls. All right, let's go ahead and let's read some rosters. So starting out with the Slam Diego Wildfires, we have number 1011 Ro Rammer, number 1256 Snips, number 1312 Slipknotty, number 3.14 Kim Kong, number 369 Chicana Heat, number 3x3 Valkyr, number 4 Maliboomer, number 43 Jax, number 619 Mamarazzi, number 62 Allison Thunderland, number 627 Cataclysmic Kate, number 7 Slamurai, number 802 Farrell Fawcett, and number 805 Hetty Lascar. They are coached by Killer Groove, Taffy, and J-Rock. Give it up for the Slam Diego Wildfires.
Skating for the Los Angeles Derby Dolls DDX, your same roster from their first bout this morning. Number 11, Skeeve Jobs. Number 115, Sly Fox. Number 19, Ferris Bruiser. Number 2022, Chance the Lapper. Number 3720, Hannah Barbarian. Number 39, Bucket. Number 430, Oblivion Westwood. Number 524, Sonia Sotomayolo. Number 5515, Baby V. Number 606, She-Deviled Egg. Number 8008, Ruffy the Roller Slayer. Number 818, Valley Hurl. Number 86, Alpaca Punch. Number 9637, Jane Woe. Your coaches for Los Angeles, Diana Ross, Metallic Isle, and Sweet Home, Alabama. We've got a brief track issue that they will be addressing. We'll bring you that note. A screw has popped loose, and they're going to fix that momentarily. So they're going to work on that with, there's a screwdriver. Maraschino Jerry is putting that screw back in place. What a great way to segue into our officials for this bout. Maraschino Jerry is your head referee, your RDCL officials, your game executioner, the Kingslayer. Your pack refs are Infidel Castro and Stark Raven Mad. Your jam refs are Plunder Woman and Tiger Bomb. Your eyes in the sky are Hassel Black and Crazy Lady. Your OPRs are Bell Bruising and Hawkblocked. Your penalty tracker is Rosie the Ripper. Your penalty tracker assist is Savage Patch Kid. Penalty box home is Bender B. Rodriguez. Penalty box visitor Jack Hart. Whiteboard Ref Boyardee. Scoreboard Hurt Macklin. And the alternate Transylvania. I noticed some skater names popping in there amongst the officials as well, so definitely people doing double duty, skating and officiating here at the tournament. Tiger Bomb was working the front door when I came in and helped me get my parking pass. And now Tiger Bomb's out there officiating. So as tournaments go, many people working many jobs here at the tournament, as always. Looks like we're just about ready. Everybody's checking in. All right, we are ready to go.
That is Maliboomer jamming this first jam for Slam Diego. And who dat?
First jammer for Los Angeles is Ferris Bruiser, who did not jam in their first bout today. So new jammer on the line for LA.
Boomer gets kind of bumped up against that rail, but does not let it stop them. Head breaks out, picks up lead for Slam Diego. Ferris Bruiser now also out of the pack with Boomer hot on their heels. Gonna go ahead and call it off.
So Slam Diego's gonna jump on the board first here in the very early going of bout number 4 at Battle on the Bank 15. We've seen these two teams. We've seen all 6 teams now, so we've seen these teams once before already.
That is Farrell Fawcett and Valley Hurl on the jam line.
Interesting that I do not believe that Valley Hurl jammed for LA in their first bout either. So Slam Diego going with the same hot hands. LA is coming out with a whole new jammer lineup. So far, anyhow.
That's a pretty common thing to see with LA. They often have their entire roster jammed by the end of the... They've got a lot of people who can do double duty, which it's a pretty steep advantage to have.
Farrell Fawcett takes that star off, then puts it back on. Thought better of it, apparently. And is now going to, run squarely into the pivot for LA, and the LA jammer gets out on the outside.
Nicely done.
Valley Hurl gets out for LA now.
Oh, but they got a star pass to Hedy Lascar, who has taken it, broken out. And Valley Hurl's going to get that last point and then call it off.
So, points for both sides in the early going. The very early going here. Half-length bout if you're just joining us here for Battle on the Bank. So, 2 15-minute halves, 4 fouls per player.
Oh, but it does look like Hedy picked up a penalty as the jammer, which means we're going to have our first power jam of the game, and that is She Doubled Egg jamming for LA. There's also one San Diego blocker in the box, so we got a 4-3 pack advantage for LA. Woo, and Egg just slides through. Picks up lead right away.
Los Angeles Power O was ready to go at the whistle. Had a path opened up for She Deviled Egg, who is now going to run to the high side squarely into a blocker. Big collision. And we're going to have a stoppage in play after that collision.
All right, looks like everybody's okay. Once again, thank you to the medics. I always say this, but for keeping our players safe and for keeping my blood pressure down. Important to need to know that we got the medics ready to pick everybody back up again, so we really appreciate you.
Looks like they are checking for possible bodily matter on the track. A bloody nose, which is to say. But good to see Skater back to the bench under her own power, upright and fully good to go.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a heck of a collision. We were mentioning just before we came back on mic. Really was a powerful collision between the jammer and that Slam Diego pivot.
We were just talking about that because I was about to comment. It was a cool play. It was a slam kind of threw Kier into the jammer, which is a very cool play as long as everybody survives it.
Okay. I'd like to thank the chat for letting me know. I for some reason thought Ferris Bruiser and Valley Hurl were in the first LA bout today. They were not. So anyway, LA definitely going with new jammers here in the second bout, but they weren't out there earlier, which makes a lot of sense. So thank you, chat. I appreciate it.
All right, so it does look like we're going to have one LA blocker on the box. So just a itty-bitty 4-3 pack advantage for Slam Diego. That is Boomer and Bucket on the jam line.
Tightly bunched pack right here in front of us at the pivot line. And there's Boomer along the inside. Ran into a couple of blockers and then kept the feet going and managed to get through the pack.
Yeah, this in our first game this morning, Murray described it as Boomer footwork like a linebacker. It's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah, very evident there, absolutely. Bucket is behind a 3-wall of Slam Diego defenders and is star in hand at the moment. Boomer, gets hit hard by the LA pivot and knocked all the way backwards, but bounces right back up and finishes a scoring pass.
Bucket out. Oh, almost through, then has a little trip over Hedy there. Gets back up. Boomer, meanwhile, has made it back to the pack and is in the midst of a scoring pass.
Boomer gets knocked down hard again by one of the LA blockers, and that'll do it for the clock on the jam. A lot of hard-fought physical effort in the pack there on both of those times around for the Slam Diego Jammer. And Slam Diego puts 14 big points on the board here in the early going. Big productive early jam for Slam Diego. 18-7 with about 10:45 to go in the first half. We'll announce that for the beer garden, folks. You can't really see the scoreboard from over there, or at least I couldn't, so we'll bring you time checks once in a while. There's going to be a stoppage in play. I heard the Kingslayer. And we've got ourselves an official timeout. So the RDCL officiating crew is going to take this time to talk over some of the goings-on in that previous jam. We'll find out if there's any change to status here momentarily.
In the meantime, we would like to shout out some of our sponsors. We've got Hanson Bros Moving and Storage, trusted Seattle mover since 1890. Wow, that's a long time ago. Hanson Bros delivers reliable, professional, and local residential and commercial moving, storage, and logistics you can count on, which I believe, being in the moving business since 1890 is a good track record to establish.
You know, like me coming from Phoenix, which is a fairly new city, like you don't hear like we've been here since 1890. You don't hear things like that. In Phoenix, it's like we've been around since 1970, and it's like, oh wow, 1970, man, they've been here forever. Just
doing like some quick timeline math in my head. It sounds like the Hanson brothers came out here for the gold rush, and then founded a moving company. Which I guess they would have needed moving services back then with everybody coming out for the gold rush.
We also wanted to mention, if you're here in the arena, definitely get down there and check out the vendor village. There are many, many, many kiosks and booths down there. Many things to check out. There are crafts, there are leather goods, there are smoked seasonings. There are amazing things down there to check out in the vendor village, as well as Sage's Coffee Company is down there in the vendor village as well, just inside the front door, selling coffee today and tomorrow, 8 to 5. Your food truck option out of doors is Johnny Slaw. He's going to be here all 3 days. I had the pulled pork and the beans.
I had the mac and cheese.
Yeah?
It was the smoked mac and cheese.
I saw smoked mac, and I was thinking they're going to be here. I'll probably be eating that tomorrow, probably, Sunday too. So I'll get to try their stuff.
All right. Looks like we got some results here. This is we can see now why they needed an OTO. There's quite a few penalties for LA on that last one. So we've got, it looked like 2 skaters in the box and 1 must skate. And it's going to be a power jam for Slam Diego, and that is the Rogue Rammer on the jam line.
Rogue Rammer out there for the first time in this bout. Just 2 LA blockers, and Rogue Rammer is able to sneak by that front blocker and get out. Now the LA blockers get together. So Slam Diego was not able to separate them, so the 2 LA blockers are going to try to run their own little self-accordion here and stay together if they can. Slamurai tries to get in there and block. Excellent move by the LA defender to get out of a Slamurai block. That's not easy. And now Rogue Rammer up to the pack. Good blocking. Man, these LA defenders are working for it on this power jam. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
Rogue Rammer finally finishes a scoring pass. Those LA blockers took 30 seconds off the clock. That is excellent work by 2 defenders on a power jam.
Yeah, that was really turning this into a speed issue rather than a blocking issue.
It's Oblivion Westwood and Ferris Bruiser are out there doing the blocking for LA, and again, good blocking on that scoring pass. Slam Diego's got all 4 of their blockers, and those 2 LA defenders are really doing work, and that'll do it for the clock. Unquestionably good defense on that power jam by those 2 Los Angeles defenders.
Slamurai did pick up an arms penalty on that last one, so we are going to have at least 1 Slam Diego blocker in the box. We'll see if we picked up any other offenses for either side momentarily.
It looks like we're serving that 1 must skate for LA from the previous jam, and then we've got 1 more LA blocker in the penalty box as we see. Nope. Both blockers from the previous jam in the penalty box is what we've got. So another pack advantage for Slam Diego. And
that is Boomer and Egg. Oh, and we've got a jammer race on our hands here. I think Egg barely managing to call it off before we had a lead change there.
Barely along the inside. Boomer hit that back straightaway, and Egg was not able to hold the lead. So brief jammer race. Over as quickly as it started, and we will reestablish with a very nice, robust pack this time.
It was simply the jam was too short for anybody to do anything bad.
Right, exactly.
So this might be is this our first penalty-free jam since the first jam?
Since it's the first
Maybe.
one, possibly.
All right, well, that is Jane Woe and Alice in Thunderland jamming. Alice almost to the front.
Skeeve Jobs had steered Alice off to the inside. Alice gets up, toe taps to reestablish, and then just takes off.
Jane came close to breaking out right behind, but then got bumped into the infield at the last second. And that was a pivotal moment for Slam Diego. They really avoided another jam race on their hands right there. Alice now again back in the pack for her initial scoring pass. And LA is doing everything in their power to prevent that scoring pass from happening.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the first bout. Watching Los Angeles' pack defense work on these Slam Diego jammers, just like when they were skating against Arizona, man, they just swarm.
Yes.
The
reform is crazy.
Reform is too kind of a word. It really is just a swarm of defenders at all
like
times coming around. Those
rematerialized.
white helmets, man.
Yeah.
So 5 points for Slam Diego. We're halfway through the first half, 7:30 to go.
Score is 33-7 for those of you who don't have a scoreboard visible, and that is Boomer bursting out of the pack, picking up lead up against, I think that's Baby V. Right?
Baby V tries to cling along the inside. Rogue Rammer just closes the door. Wow, nice little pivot. Spin to win goes Malaboomer through the pack on a scoring pass. Baby V routed down to the inside one more time. Here comes Malaboomer with a full head of steam.
Oh,
untouched.
Beautiful. I love that diagonal straight through the pack.
And just as much as I was talking about LA's pack defense, the Slam Diego offense, they're just opening a golden path for Malaboomer to weave through the pack. Now down to the inside. Your LA jammer is out. Boomer is off the track, so we've got the LA jammer through the pack, is going to get some points on the board. Boomer was on the track when the LA jammer came by and off the track, on the infield, I should say. Couldn't do anything about it. We got both jam refs down here signaling up to the eyes.
Looks like we got one blocker a piece in the box.
So it ended up being 14 for Slam Diego and 4 for Los Angeles. You're looking at 47-11 at the moment.
That is Farrell Fawcett jamming for Slam Diego. Up against Alpaca Punch for LA. Ooh, and Alpaca Punch is out, picking up lead for LA. Farrell a little stuck in the back there, pops the star off her head.
All right, we are getting word on some cars parked in the fire lane, so hang tight for that. Alpaca Punch finishes the scoring pass and gets out. There's Farrell Fawcett now getting out of the pack for Slam Diego. We'll try to keep this to one last scoring pass for Alpaca Punch. 15 seconds left. And Alpaca Punch runs up into a blocker and calls it off. All right. We've got Rogue Rammer on the jammer line for Slam Diego. And your jammer for LA doesn't have a number on their arm. That is She-Deviled Egg. And missing their right armband for some reason. Rogue Rammer for Slam Diego gets right out, and here comes Egg for LA. Egg with a hearty Egg cheer from the LA cheerleading contingent over there in the beer garden. So now Rogue Rammer has to catch the pack. That's the hard part. The LA defenders are together at the front. Rogue Rammer's calling out, trying to get some help. Here comes Egg to the back of the pack, and Rogue calls it off. We've got some cars that are parked in the fire lane
Yes.
right out here.
Quickly, if I could just have anybody who drove here, your attention. We have 4 cars that are parked in the fire lane. You have the potential to get towed. If you drove a black BMW from Arizona, a white, I can't read my own handwriting. It's a white Chevy from Florida, a gray Toyota from California, or a white VW from Washington, you are parked in the fire lane and you might get towed.
Yeah, that is the fire lane that kind of runs along the front straightaway, if you can picture it. So if you're parked over here near the front straightaway / turns 3 and 4, you may need to move your car. Back to the game action. That is Valley Hurl for Los Angeles, who is out and clear. Valley Hurl is to the front of the pack in mid-scoring pass. Maliboomer is your jammer for Slam Diego and has the star at present in hand, trying to find their pivot, but that LA defense strong at the back of the pack. Valley Hurl is still fighting against it's Slam Diego defenders. I believe that's Slamurai in there that's doing all that trouble. Slamurai and Hedy Lascar.
That is Jax with Hedy Lascar, but a frequent confusion. People mix that up a lot. So.
Uh-huh. Well, we do have Maliboomer out of the pack now for Slam Diego, and that persistent Slam Diego pack defense did not let Valley Hurl get through cleanly on that scoring pass. It'll be 5 points for LA, just the 5. 2:30 to go until the end of the first half. 48-21 Slam Diego at the moment.
That is Allison Thunderland jamming for Slam Diego up against Ruffy the Roller Slayer jamming for LA.
Ruffy is at the front. There's a 3-wall of Slam Diego defenders that are not letting Ruffy through, however.
Yeah.
Going to try to pivot to the inside. Manages to tiptoe around Roguerammer.
Nicely done. I was sitting over there next to Ruffy's mom, so I know that happened right. That's so nice to have that happen right where you can see it, nice up and close.
Right in front of your own cheering section.
Yes, exactly.
Taking over as jammer for Slam Diego is your pivot, Valkyr. Ruffy is going to get through that last blocker and call it off. So 4 more for LA. We've got time for 2 more jams in this first half. We got people getting shifted around in the pack. Looking back here.
That is Boomer on the jam line for Slam Diego. I think that's Ferris Bruiser.
I agree. Only number that ends in a 9 for LA as I was glancing down my roster. That is Ferris Bruiser.
Ferris Bruiser up in the front trying to find it, but that San Diego wall does not want to let them through. But the pack is getting awfully spread out. They're going to be forced to let them go if the pack doesn't catch up. Oh, but the pack got up. So did Boomer, and Boomer is now out and in the lead for Slam Diego.
Yeah, everything just came together. Ferris Bruiser was not able to push past that Slam Diego wall at first. Out now, though, so to try to keep this to 1 scoring pass for Boomer. Boomer's got to get back to the LA defenders first. Now she's up into there, runs into Jane Woe and calls it off.
Yeah, that's the second or third time we've seen some really clutch blocking work by Slam Diego where they were this close to LA's jammer breaking out, and they found it in the last minute and really changed the momentum of that jam.
So we'll line up for the last jam of the first half. The half clock is going to expire before this jam starts. That is going to be Farrell Fawcett for Slam Diego, Valley Hurl for Los Angeles to take us into the half.
Looks like I see Rogue in the sin bin, and I think one blocker apiece. Bucket also in there. Oh, and Valley Hurl breaking out, picking up lead for LA. Farrell having a tough time getting past Viv, which who could blame you, you know? And Valley Hurl is coming around ready to hit that scoring pass. Farrell now also out of the pack as Valley Hurl is getting slowed down by that wall. Slowed down but not stopped. Picks up those points and calls it off, and that is going to take us to the halftime. I will tell you our score at the half as soon as it updates. That was 4 points for LA, which brings our score at the half to 50-29. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break.
LA really closing up that lead there towards the end of the first half. It was, I believe it was something like 42-ish to 8, and then it was 47-11, and now 50-29. So LA is on the march as we head into the halftime break.
Absolutely. All right, well, go ahead and get yourself some concessions. Check out that smoked mac and cheese, I'm telling you. And we will be back here in just about 4 minutes. Also, sorry, now that it's quiet, I'm going to also remind you, we have 4 cars that are parked in the fire lane. It seems like maybe a couple of them, somebody went out, but we have a black BMW from Arizona, a white Chevy from Florida, a gray Toyota from California, and a white VW from Washington. If you drove any of those cars, you are parked in a fire lane, and you are liable to get towed, potentially. So this is a pressing matter. And you have about 4 minutes to go resolve it and still make it back in time for the game to start again. So,
yeah, worth mentioning that this is the different fire lane than earlier. This morning it was the fire lane in front of the building where the food truck is. This is the fire lane on the side, kind of down here at the where about turns 3 and 4 are. You can kind of see them through the door there. That's the fire lane. If you're parked over here on the side of the building, there's a fire lane, but then they had like temporary stripes drawn, so I can see why you would park there. I walked over it this morning, walking past it.
Listen, no one blames you.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But also, get out of there. You gotta. All right, just 5 seconds left on this break clock, and we're just about ready to get in it. Heading into the second half, our score is 50-29, but really it is very much anybody's game. LA has already shown us that they are more than capable of scoring 20, 25 points in a pretty small amount of time. So
we get ready to start the second half. Worth mentioning, by the way, fans, the word we got is that the 3 p.m. bout, the bout that is supposed to start at 3, will be starting at 3:30. So there will be still a brief break after this bout before bout number 5. So
Yes.
we wanted to bring you that update here as we get ready for the second half.
but that break will be shorter than the breaks have been.
Yes.
All right, that is Jane Woe and Boomer on the jam line. Boomer taking the high, Jane taking the low, and Jane is the one who is successful. Breaks out, picks up lead for LA.
Great blocking at the front of the pack by the 2 LA blockers. Bucket was up there, got Boomer spun to the infield, but Boomer finds her way out. Jane Woe is going to thread through the pack and call it off. Los Angeles continuing to hack into that Slam Diego lead. Slam Diego had jumped out to a big lead early, and LA is chipping into it 4 at a time. 4 more on the board.
That is Valley Hurl and Rogue Rammer on the jam line.
All the cars have been moved. Thank you, everybody.
What teamwork. We managed to get all the cars out of the fire lane before anybody got towed. Give it up for yourselves. Yes, like I said, that is Rogue Rammer and Valley Hurl, and Rogue is out, picks up lead. Valley Hurl stuck behind that looks like Snips and a couple of other folks, but then did break out as Rogue is reapproaching the pack, ready to start picking up some points. Gonna see what she can do. There you go.
Rogue along the inside was just waiting to get bumped, and as soon as contact happened, signaled to call it off. Oh, I heard a "that's your jammer."
Oops.
I heard an arms penalty on Rogue Rammer, and it's going to be a she-deviled egg power jam for Los Angeles.
Ruh-roh. Yes, it does look like that is Snips and Rogue in the box. So Slam Diego down their jammer and 1 blocker. So it's going to be a 4-3 pack advantage and a power jam for LA. And Egg, She-Deviled Egg is the one jamming this power jam. LA this could be a really pivotal jam for them if they're able to run with it the way that they need to close up this gap. And indeed, Egg is out nice and early. LA trying to hold that goat in the back. That is Kier. Very nicely done.
Egg with a quick move was able to get through. Those 2 blockers at the front of the pack were ready, and Egg was just moving quick enough and got through, but got past the block.
Yeah, the way that LA was able to shut down that Rogue power jam earlier was by speeding up the pack and simply playing keep away. Now that they have caught Kier in the back, LA has caught Kier in the back, San Diego can't do the same thing here. And we're really seeing the impact of that, the difference that can make.
Egg's got 7 seconds. I believe she just looked up and saw the scoreboard. Is going to hustle around to try to get back to the pack. Is going to get by the back and get near the front. That's going to depend on when the whistle sounded. We'll have to check the score from the infield and find out. Let's see if...
That was 3 complete passes. That's going to be 15 points for LA.
Huge, and it's a whole new game. We are 54-48. The Slam Diego lead is down to just 6.
Just 6 points. Oh, but it looks like we've got an official timeout.
All right, so
just
an
a timeout,
OTO,
though, not a challenge.
We've got 1 penalty on each side. 2 penalties. No. Timeout, it said. Sorry.
Yes, yeah. One penalty
and a
apiece
timeout.
and a blue timeout. Yes.
Got it.
Slam Diego's going to take that timeout, which makes sense. When the other team picks up momentum like that, you want to...
Yes, that's the old momentum stopper right there.
Yes, we got to force... Let's all settle down is what Slam Diego's going to say in this moment. How we doing out there, crowd? Feeling good? Oh, the score, that's such a good question. The score is 54-48 Wildfires. That was a 15-point jam for LA. So they just tightened up this margin down to just 6 points, separating these 2 teams, but still a full 12 minutes left. So it is really, frankly, from the beginning, it has been anybody's game, and it remains anybody's game.
We've got Ferris Bruiser for LA.
Up against Boomer for Slam Diego. Ferris Bruiser finding it in the front, picking up lead for LA.
Ferris has had good success jamming.
Yeah.
Gets through quickly and gets out. Boomer spins through, gets past the blocker, stays upright, now puts the star back on. There we go. And forcing the quick call off from Ferris Bruiser mid-pack for Los Angeles.
So we know for certain that didn't tie it up because it was less than, so that's 4 points. So in just a 2-point margin at this point, LA has come back wildly in this second half. The score is now 54-52 Wildfires. That is Rogue Rammer on the jam line up against, this rail really doesn't want me to be able to see the numbers.
Sonia Sotomayor. That is YOLO for LA, who gets blocked down hard to the inside. A couple of blockers in there doing good work for Slam Diego. Rogue Rammer, spin move, beautiful. Spin move, Rogue Rammer gets around Oblivion Westwood, kind of just pirouetted and took off.
You could see both jammers, it was palpable that they both understood the significance of this particular jam has the potential to really change the momentum of this game right now. Rogue trying to get through on this scoring pass. Barely caught it off.
Rogue gets up just in time
by
to reestablish.
The skin of her teeth.
Wow. Got a toe block back on the track and called that thing off.
Yeah. But did eke out 1 point there, so increasing the margin by a full 50%, going from 2 points to 3.
I believe we've got a team timeout coming, if I heard correctly. Let's have the Kingslayer confirm that. It's an OTO. I did not hear correctly. That's why we wait for them to tell us. Official timeout. So we'll check that whiteboard momentarily from Ref Boyardee and find out. So stoppage and play, 10:01 to go in the second half. Slam Diego in front, 55-52. Slam Diego has led throughout, but that lead was large and now is not large.
Indeed. This official timeout brought to you by Cider Co. /Two Town Cider. It's one of the ciders in the beer garden. I also had one earlier today, and it was delicious. They are born in Seattle and crafted in the Pacific Northwest. They make bright, balanced ciders from real Washington apples. Never from concentrate, never overloaded with sugar. Just clean, modern cider for beer drinkers and wine drinkers and everybody in between.
7 seconds put back up on the clock, so 10:08 to go. 55-52. That's Allison Thunderland for Slam Diego, and it is Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles.
One in the box for Slam Diego, so a little pack advantage for LA. We're going to see. Alice takes a little tumble in the back, and Alpaca Punch breaks out.
Alpaca Punch is out and is going to be looking to put LA in front if at all possible. Allison Thunderland has the star off, but that LA back wall is not forgiving. Slamurai with a block at the front of the pack. Oof. Alpaca Punch down hard, but jumps right back up and gets back to work.
That pack is getting awfully spread out, though. They're going to be forced to let Alpaca Punch go, and indeed, that is what happens. Looks like we had a star pass on Slam Diego to Hedy Lascar, but Hedy is almost as stuck in the back as Alice was, so it's a tough situation to be in as Alpaca Punch comes back around ready to start scoring some of these points. And there you go. That's 5 on the board.
Well, that should flip the leadership status of this bout. Let's find out from the infield to confirm it. Next jammers are going to be Bucket and Rogue Rammer, I can tell you that much.
That was 9 points for LA, which means we have a lead change on our hands. The score is now 61 LA to 55 Wildfires. 2 in the box for Slam Diego, 1 in the box for LA.
Rogue Rammer spun down to the infield by Jane Woe is going to, almost. Rogue Rammer got bumped off, but the LA blocker touched off as well, so Rogue Rammer gets to go on by. I was going to say just was going to skate backwards on the coping on one skate just for funsies.
Ooh, and just absolutely leaps past.
Beautiful.
Steve Jobs was trying to do sort of a death from above situation, and Rogue hopped over it.
Yeah, Bucket's still not out for LA. Collides hard with that Slam Diego pivot at the front of the pack, and then Bucket comes out of that one on top.
That is Captain Jax, who I can tell you is definitely feeling the pressure right now as the co-captain of this team, and it shows in how dedicated she was to that hit. Whew. Pretty good. How are you? Yeah.
Slam Diego puts 7 points on the board, and we've got another lead change. Slam Diego jumps in front 62-61. Would you look at that?
I love this. It's like watching two horses in the front of a race.
Heading back and forth. We're halfway through the second half. That is Valley Hurl for LA, who is already out at the front of the pack.
Up against Boomer. Not quite out yet. Really looking for it. Valley Hurl coming around the pack. Ooh, and a little jammer on jammer action, allowing Boomer to make the hit and break out of the pack. That was nice multitasking by Boomer.
Really well done, yeah, definitely. Boomer puts the star on and forces the call off. We're going to have ourselves another lead change. Fira over in the beer garden, take it easy on the fizzy drinks for these lead changes, because this is going to go back and forth.
I was going to say, my adrenaline is high.
Woo! We've got ourselves a team timeout. Slam Diego.
Yeah, that was 5 points on that last one. The old Cinco de Rinco, as we say down in San Diego, bringing LA to 66. Like you just said, another lead change. So the score for folks who can't see the scoreboard is 66-62. Ooh, that looks like a pretty crowded penalty board, though. Can we get that penalty board one more time, Reffy? Reffy? Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, so 2 penalties for LA, and it's just the timeout for Slam Diego.
We're going to have a big pack advantage for Slam Diego coming up, and
thank you so very much.
And they're taking themselves 60 seconds to talk strategy. So we will find out what's coming up after this.
And you know what? I appreciate the 60 seconds because, like I said, my heart rate's pretty freaking high right now.
Give us a moment to catch our breath. If you need a moment to refresh yourself, don't forget the concession stand is open. All your Bout Day snacks and drinks, soda, water, non-alcoholic beer, candy, chips, and popcorn. That is one of your many food options here to check out the Tilted Thunder concession stand and the Tilted Thunder merch booth. League and team merchandise galore. We are back into it. Look at this jersey right in front of us. We have 314 for Slam Diego. Her jersey's half torn off.
All right,
this hasn't been a physical bout or anything.
That is Rogue Ramber and Egg. Rogue almost threw it. Coming up against that 2-wall, just a last pass and breaks out. Egg also looking to get it. I keep starting sentences and not finishing them.
Right.
Because things are happening so quickly. So Egg also out about 20, 30 feet behind Rogue. Rogue's going to be looking for a points and call it situation.
So Rogue's got to work quick to try to get to those LA defenders in time, and Egg's going to get through at the back of the pack before the whistle. Look out. Goodness me. Egg just had to jump over her own blocker who was on the track. We're going to have a stoppage in play to make sure everybody's okay. And the skater Chance the Lapper back to the LA bench under their own power with a weary mouth guard grin on their face, I would say. So back to the bench after being attended to by the medics crew. Yeah, quite a scary situation there at the end, and it was hard to say. It's hard to opine. We were hoping there wasn't a collision there. It looked like Egg was able to clear Chance, who was on the track, and Egg had nowhere to go except up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right, so 6:20 to go in the second half. That gave us all a chance to slow our pulse rates down and take a sip of Diet Mountain Dew. 69-62, it was a 3-point jam for Los Angeles. We are just about ready to go. Head referee Maraschino Jerry is checking in with everyone. And then we will get back to it.
All right, so one penalty for an LA blocker, I believe. Yes. So just a little 4-3 pack advantage for Slam Diego, and that is Farrell Fawcett taking the jam line up against, that is Ferris Bruiser for LA.
Ferris and Farrell out there together. Farrell Fawcett. Farrell snatched that star off at first, didn't need to. Negotiates the defense and gets out, is going to slap that star back on. Here comes Ferris Bruiser, about the length of the straightaway behind.
You can see now Slam Diego has successfully caught that goat now in bucket, and does get at least, they're going to get at least that 1 point and the ghost point for Farrell Fawcett. We'll see if Hips made it past Hips on anybody else there.
4 for Slam Diego to shorten that lead to 3
Several
points.
more Hips than I thought.
Yeah.
Score is 69-66 LA. They are really keeping it close here, and that is Rogue Rammer up against Valley Hurl on the jam line. Is that an empty penalty box? Could it
That's
be?
an empty penalty box,
oh my
indeed.
Goodness, look at us all behaving ourselves.
Just over 5 minutes to go in regulation as this jam gets underway. Neither jammer had gotten out just yet, but Rogue Rammer snatched that star off, then found an opening and goes for Slam Diego. So Rogue Rammer is going to try to affect a lead change here on the scoreboard. Valley Hurl not out yet.
Managing to hold Valley Hurl, which has been tough. It has been tough for Slam Diego to hold those LA jammers. We've had a lot of mutual jammer breakouts.
Excellent block in the middle of the turn by Oblivion Westwood to sap all of Rogue Rammer's momentum, and gets back up on the track and calls it off. LA's already set up on the track for the next jam. There's no Slam Diego. Here comes Slam Diego.
Well,
yes, no?
Folks, that was another lead change. That was 4 points for Rogue Rammer and Slam Diego, bringing the score to 70 Wildfires to 69 LA.
And don't look now, but it is a Slam Diego power jam at an incredibly important juncture in the game.
Yeah, this is a pivotal moment for Slam Diego.
4 minutes to go in regulation. Slam Diego just took the lead by 1 point.
Yes.
Los Angeles also is down one blocker as well, so they've got their work cut out for them on this power jam.
And Boomer just with a beautiful straightaway hop there, takes the lead, breaks out of the pack immediately. This is exactly what Slam Diego needs right now. Of course, LA is lined up to stop her unsuccessfully. She just slides right through.
Los Angeles now is going to get together at the front of the pack, so Slam Diego not able to break off a goad. They're going to try to get in there and get that wall broken up if they can. Here comes a defender around the outside to try to affect it. But as of the moment, LA still in front together at the front of the pack. 24 seconds left on the Slam Diego power jam. This time, the LA defense has managed to slow things down considerably. They are definitely eating up the chance of there being a third scoring attempt. Boomer is going to almost not quite, did not get by Egg. What a block, what a hip block. And Egg again with the block at the front of the pack. Excellent work. Whew. Definitely burned a lot of time off the clock and kept that from being a possible third scoring pass. We're going to have a stoppage in play for some reason. It's an official timeout with 2:50 to go in regulation. Let's check the score. Should be 10. It is 10.
You check the score. I'm checking my heart rate on my Apple Watch because it is high. I am stressed.
They put a little more time back on the clock. 3:15 to go in regulation from when that timeout was called. So 80-69, Slam Diego in front by 11 at the moment.
10 whole points there for Boomer. That was crazy.
3:15 is legally time for 3 jams, spiritually probably 4 jams.
Yeah, you never know.
Something like that. And we're going to have a challenge. Why not?
Yeah, that
Los Angeles.
That tracks. If you're going to use it, now would be if there is. This is the one where the ROI on using your
exactly. This is when you want to take a chance at it. So we're going to have a Los Angeles challenge. We will bring you the update on what is being challenged and whether it was successful or not momentarily. Put a bookmark in this for the moment. 80-69, Slam Diego in front by 11 with 3:15 to go in regulation.
I am going to guess it does look like from the penalty board. I can't quite see it because referee's still writing, but I do see a lot of ink on that. Yeah, so it's going to be related to that.
Look at that.
LA penalty. They're going to be challenging that penalty.
Yeah, they're challenging the penalty on the 606 she-doubled egg, and that was a low block on egg. I had to look that one up. I don't see L very often.
Yeah.
So that one I had to go take a glance at. So that is what they'll be challenging.
But the fact that, because a challenge could either be we think there should have been a penalty on the other team, or we think that there shouldn't have been a penalty on us. So because this is not they're not challenging anything Slam Diego did or so the points will remain the same no matter what at the end of this.
Yeah, so the score should
challenge.
Stand where it is.
Yeah.
Let's bring you during this important challenge. Let's bring you some of the sponsor stuff. Why don't we? Let's talk about Concuss Creations. Concuss Creations is a local print shop that has contributed to community-oriented organizations and events, as well as the music and art industry for the last 23 years. You may have seen some of their work at shows or in the Derby community, printing for local leagues such as Tilted Thunder and Strawberry City. They have fresh new gear at their table in the vendor village, including a new collaboration with Slam Musubi. Go say hi to the boys or check out concusscreations.com. Use the discount code BATTLE for 25% off at concusscreations.com.
All right, looks like we've reached a conclusion on this challenge. I don't know yet what the conclusion is, but we will find out, I think, momentarily. We should find out.
Yeah, we will. The coaches are going to be told first.
Yes.
And then once the coaches tell their benches, we're allowed to tell you.
All right, so that like we said, they were challenging that low block on 606 egg, and that penalty will be upheld. So that penalty will stand, and LA will lose their official review for the remainder of the game. Granted, it's only 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so it's not a huge loss when it comes to.
So we will get back to the action here momentarily. As mentioned, LA is going to have a 1 skater advantage in the pack. That was not a jammer penalty. That was just a blocker penalty that LA was challenging.
Yeah, we're going to be pretty light on the track here with 3 whole blockers in the box. Off we go.
All right, so it's going to be Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles. Rogue Rammer for Slam Diego.
Rogue Rammer.
Rogue Rammer has really jammed Rogue Rammer always jams well, but has jammed particularly well here in this bout. Really has done well.
There are a few skaters that respond as well as she does to pressure. And there we go. You see it in action. She is out. Alpaca Punch, however, also out of the pack, about 20 feet behind, and fast. It looks like Alpaca might be a little faster than Rogue, so this is going to be interesting to see if Rogue can pick up points or is going to play it safe and call it off first. Yeah,
the 2 LA blockers were able to keep together at the front of the pack, and with the hard pursuit from Alpaca Punch, Rogue Rammer has to call it off. No points for either side. We will be at about 2:25 to go in regulation when this jam starts. Slam Diego, interested in protecting that lead, is going to send Malaboomer to the jammer line.
Boomer was just calling to her pack, get that high, and Viv from LA goes, I got it. I don't think that's what Boomer meant.
Jamming for LA is Baby V. Vanessa Bludgeons, number 55-15. And getting out is Boomer. All
Again,
important lead jam.
With that jump along the rail. Boomer is practically famous for her apex jumps, but has been really working those straightaway jumps. God, what timing.
Baby V now is trying to catch up, is really hard in pursuit. Boomer calling out blocking instructions and is going to back in, try to get in their point scorer first and get an extra point before calling it off. Let's find out. Slam Diego looking to control this thing into the ice box if they can. 5 points for Slam Diego and a lot of time off the clock. We got one penalty on Sly Fox, so one skater advantage in the pack for Slam Diego.
That is Rogue Rammer on the jam line for Slam Diego.
And
up against
She Deviled Egg for
She
LA.
Egg. Rogue, everyone taking a tumble. Oh, and Egg kind of had gotten blocked up, but then found it in the end. Pulled out, picked up lead for LA. Rogue still stuck, coming up against Jane Woe and Bucket there.
Yeah, Rogue not out yet, and this is what LA needs. LA needs multiple scoring passes here, and this is what they're working on. Now, Rogue is able to get out, so Egg calls it off immediately, obviously with Rogue getting out as well. That should be 5 for LA. Let's find out. If it is, that would make the lead back to 11 for Slam Diego with one jam left in regulation. We are still waiting for that score from the infield.
I need a Xanax.
Right?
This is crazy.
It was 4 for LA, not 5. It was 4 for LA. They did not get the jammer point. Rogue Rammer stayed away before the call-off. So 12-point lead for Slam Diego. Last jam of regulation.
Ooh.
It is number 86, Alpaca Punch for Los Angeles, and Maliboomer for Slam Diego. If LA wants to hang in this and not have to count on penalty jams, they've got to get lead jam, and they do. Alpaca Punch is out for Los Angeles. That's all important for LA here, and Maliboomer is still at the back of the pack. LA needs to get multiple scoring passes on this jam and or hope for penalty jams. Regulation clock has expired. Alpaca Punch is at the front of the pack trying to get by Rogue Rammer. Rogue Rammer's been out there, I think, for the last 10 or 11 jams in a row.
Yeah. Oh, my.
22 seconds left on the jam clock. Alpaca Punch has finished a scoring pass. Maliboomer now gets out, so it's one more scoring attempt for Alpaca Punch. Has to get up to the San Diego blockers first. Your LA blockers now spring into action. Alpaca Punch to the high side. 8 seconds left on the jam clock, and Alpaca Punch calls it off. That is going to do it for the regulation clock. By my unofficial eye, that looked like it was probably 9 points. Let's find out. 8 points. Again, that's why I always carefully say to my unofficial eye. 85-81, Slam Diego's in front, and we're at the end of regulation. Let's find out about penalty jams.
I'm so grateful to you for announcing that last jam because I was frozen in fear.
I saw you melting into your chair during the timeout. That's it!
And there
that
you go.
That is it! Final whistle!
That is our final score is 85 Wildfires, 81 LA. Give it up for both of these teams. My God.
Fantastic action there late. LA with a furious effort in that last regulation jam, but just not quite enough. Slam Diego victorious and the first team to go 2-0 here at Battle on the Bank 15.
Give it up for the Wildfires. Wah, 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 wah. Get your high fives in. Whew.